Banana bread is my all-time most favorite dessert, and I know you guys are gonna love this healthier version. I'm Justin from Cooking with Coit. I specialize in clean comfort cooking. And remember, if you love this video, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. Let's get started. Let's go over the ingredients you need to make this recipe. First, we've got whole wheat flour, semi-sweet chocolate chips, bananas, eggs, salt, cinnamon, vanilla extract, baking soda, maple syrup, oat milk, or any milk of your choosing. And for cooking tools, all you're gonna need is a roughly 9x5 loaf pan. First thing you need to do is to preheat your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm so proud of myself that I finally remembered to tell you at the top of the video. Next thing we need to do is to grease our loaf pan. So I just take a little butter and a paper towel and just rub the butter in. That's all we're doing. Greasing this loaf pan is gonna do two things for us. First of all, we're rubbing butter into the pan that we're gonna be baking in, which is gonna make anything you bake in it taste better, of course. But more importantly, it's also going to allow the banana bread to slide out very easily once we're done baking. Next thing we're gonna do is to beat both of our eggs. I'm doing this in a small bowl, and I'm gonna show you why in a second. Oh God, guys. Shells. I mean, I've been cooking long enough that you'd think I'd be able to crack an egg on camera without getting a shell in my eggs. I mean, at least it's a big shell and it's easy to get out. So amateur. All right, let's give this a quick beat. Next thing we need to do is to put our bananas into a large mixing bowl, and then we are going to mash them. So I chose, on purpose, bananas that were definitely very ripe. You don't want to be using bananas that are green or underripe at all. It makes a much better banana bread to use ripe or even overly ripe bananas. Now I'm gonna take my trusty masher and give these bananas a mash, but if you don't have a masher, you can always just use a fork. Ripe bananas are also much easier to mash than unripe bananas, so that's another good reason why we use them. Now you don't have to go crazy with the mashing, like it doesn't have to be like a banana soup after you're done. You can definitely leave this a little chunky. Okay. Now we're gonna add in our beaten eggs into the bowl with the bananas. Next, we're gonna add in our half a cup of oat milk. Again, you guys can use oat milk if you want. Almond milk works well too, or even just regular old traditional milk. Now I'm gonna add in our maple syrup, half a cup. One thing that I love about this recipe is that we're not gonna be adding in any extra granulated sugar of any kind. All of the sweetness in this healthy banana bread is gonna come from bananas and maple syrup, which is very cool. Next, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Cut, my wife is here. Show my wife, show my wife. There's my wife. She's always ruining my takes, but I love her. Oh, you need me to move the camera too? All right guys, now we just need to give this a mix. Next, we're gonna take our dry ingredients and add them into the wet ingredients. First off, we're gonna add 1 3/4 cup of whole wheat flour. You know, I really should get a 3/4 of a cup measuring tool, but I don't have one, so I've got to do this math. I just use a cup, now I'm gonna use a 1/4 cup and a 1/2 cup, which adds to 3/4 of a cup. Just kind of annoying because you get like all of these cup measurements dirty and you gotta clean them. Next, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And finally, we're gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. One sec. I was just gonna cheat and not measure, but then I realized, well, I'm baking and I should measure. I'll tell you, baking is kind of annoying, to be honest. It's really precise. All I wanna do is bake like I cook savory dishes, and that's just kind of by feel. You just can't do that. So I'm gonna measure 1/2 teaspoon of salt. All right, now we're gonna give everything a good mix. What I do really appreciate with this recipe is that you don't have to use a food processor or a stand mixer to make this. You can just mix it by hand, which is really nice because that's one less thing you have to clean. Oh guys, this is already looking and smelling amazing. Now I'm gonna add 1/2 cup of our chocolate chips. It doesn't have to be super precise. You'll see some kind of spilling over. We're just gonna add 1/2 now, and we're gonna add the other 1/2 in a minute. So again, let's give this a nice mix. All right, so now we're gonna pour our batter into our loaf pan. So let's do it. I'll be very proud of myself if I don't spill any. There you go, let me get all of this out of here. All right, for the final touch before we pop it into the oven, I'm gonna take the rest of our chocolate chips and let's just sprinkle on top. You could also use walnuts in this recipe, which I hear is very popular with banana bread, but let me tell you, I do not like walnuts. I don't want them in any of my baked goods. I don't like them in cookies. I don't like them in banana bread. I don't like them anytime. I don't know why I'm so passionate about this, but people just love putting walnuts in baked goods. If you're one of those people, will you please let me know in the comments below
Why?
Okay. All right, guys, this banana bread is ready to go into the oven. Again, we're cooking it at 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're gonna leave it in there for 50 minutes, 50. All right, guys, the timer just went off. Let's see how our banana bread looks. All right, this looks so good. Check that out. Wow. Okay, so we can't take a bite just yet. We've got to let it rest. So I'm gonna set it aside. We're gonna let it rest for about 10 minutes until we can easily remove it from the loaf pan. All right, guys, this banana bread is looking amazing and I cannot wait to give it a try. But before I do, if you love this recipe and you wanna see more just like it, check out my dessert recipe playlist. Okay, let's give this a try. Whoa, guys, look how amazing this came out. Okay, let's cut a piece. The banana chunks look so good. This healthy banana bread recipe is so incredible. It's just as good as the traditional, but better for you. So I know you guys are gonna love it. I hope you give it a try. See you in the next video.